Ladies and gentlemen, listen. We've all heard it before. Loyalty is everything, but I'm here to tell you something that might shake you up a bit. Stop being loyal to people who aren't loyal to you. That's right. Stop being loyal to people who only show up when it's convenient for them. Stop being loyal to those who take in, never give back. Stop being loyal to anyone who isn't helping you become the best version of yourself. I know you're thinking, wait a minute, isn't loyalty supposed to be a good thing? Well, let me tell you something, loyalty is powerful, but it has to be earned. And if it's not being earned, then you're just wasting your time. And I'm about to explain why you need to change the way you look at loyalty. Stick around, because by the end of this speech, you're going to see loyalty in a whole new light. And you're going to feel empowered to make better choices in the people you give your loyalty to. Keep watching, because we're about to break this thing down. Loyalty is one of those qualities that is often regarded as noble and virtuous. It's something that is ingrained in us from an early age. We are taught to be loyal to our friends, family, and partners, to stand by them no matter what. But here's the truth, loyalty is not always deserved. You cannot and should not give your loyalty freely to just anyone who comes into your life. Loyalty should be something that is earned over time. It should be reserved for those who show up for you in the toughest moments, those who respect you, and those who consistently demonstrate that they care about your well-being. Far too often, people give their loyalty away without consideration for how it's being reciprocated. They remain loyal to friends who take them for granted, to family members who consistently disappoint them, or to colleagues who only care about themselves. We're conditioned to think that loyalty is an automatic part of relationships, that if you've been with someone long enough or if you've shared good times together, that you owe them your loyalty. But that kind of thinking is dangerous. Loyalty is not a currency that you just give away. It's a powerful tool that you should reserve for those who truly deserve it. Let's think about this for a second. Just because someone has been around for a long time doesn't mean they've earned your loyalty. Sometimes we get stuck in the past. We remember the good times, the moments when they were there for us, and we hold on to that thinking, well, they were my friend for years, so I have to be loyal to them. But loyalty isn't about the past, it's about the present and the future. It's about how people treat you today, how they respect your boundaries, how they show up for you now, and how they value you. You can't let the history of a relationship cloud your judgment. If someone is not treating you well now, their past actions shouldn't force you to remain loyal to them. Loyalty should be built on respect and mutual understanding, not obligation. It's easy to feel like you owe loyalty to someone, but the reality is that loyalty is a two-way street. It's not about you constantly giving and them constantly taking. Loyalty shouldn't feel like a burden or something that you have to work hard to maintain. It should come naturally as a result of mutual trust and support. If someone is not showing you that same level of respect, it's time to reconsider your loyalty to them. When you give your loyalty to someone who hasn't earned it, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. You may end up in relationships where your loyalty is taken for granted, where people don't value you in return, and where you are left feeling drained, unappreciated, and taken advantage of. Loyalty should never leave you feeling empty. It should be a reflection of the healthy, balanced relationships in your life, relationships that encourage growth, support, and positivity. So remember, just because someone is in your life doesn't mean they deserve your loyalty. Take a step back and ask yourself, does this person show me the same respect, care, and support that I give them? If the answer is no, then it's time to stop being loyal to those who aren't deserving of it. Loyalty without respect can quickly turn into resentment. When you're loyal to someone who doesn't value or respect you, it creates a dynamic where you're constantly giving more than you're receiving. Loyalty is meant to be a reciprocal relationship. It should come with mutual respect, understanding, and care. But when that respect is missing, the foundation of the relationship begins to crumble. What starts as a simple act of kindness or dedication becomes an obligation, and over time, it feels less like loyalty and more like a burden. You see, respect is what keeps the balance in any healthy relationship. Without respect, loyalty becomes one-sided. You're putting in the effort, You're doing the work. You're being there for the person when they need you. But when it's your turn, they're nowhere to be found. They don't take the time to understand your needs. They don't support you when you're struggling. And they don't show appreciation for the sacrifices you've made. Over time, that lack of respect breeds frustration, anger, and a sense of betrayal. You begin to feel like you're being used or taken for granted, and that's not what loyalty is supposed to feel like. You've got to understand that loyalty without respect leaves you feeling small. It chips away at your self-worth and makes you question your value in the relationship. You give and give, but you never get anything in return, and eventually the resentment builds up. You find yourself asking, why am I always the one who's there for them, but when I need someone, where are they? And that's when things start to shift in a negative direction. What was once a bond based on loyalty turns into a relationship filled with tension, bitterness, and unmet expectations. At some point, you've got to realize that if someone doesn't respect you, then your loyalty means nothing to them. It's easy to say you're loyal to someone because of history or past experiences, but loyalty doesn't work in isolation. You can't continue to pour into someone who doesn't respect the time, energy, and love you're offering. True loyalty is built on a foundation of respect, where both parties are equally invested in each other's well-being. When there's no respect, the loyalty you show will be worn down over time, leaving you feeling drained and unappreciated. The problem is that most people don't realize that respect is just as essential as loyalty, and sometimes they don't even recognize when respect is being lost. It's easy to overlook the little signs, the dismissive comments, the lack of acknowledgement, or the constant undermining. But once you open your eyes to the fact that loyalty without respect only leads to resentment, you start to see the truth. If respect isn't part of the equation, you're simply investing in a one-sided relationship, and that will never lead to a healthy or fulfilling outcome. It's crucial that you begin to demand respect in your relationships. You don't have to put up with behavior that diminishes you or takes you for granted. Your loyalty should be a reflection of a balanced relationship where both parties honor and value each other. When you stop accepting disrespect, you stop allowing resentment to take root. It's time to protect your energy and your peace. Respect should be the baseline of your loyalty, not the other way around. If someone can't show you the respect you deserve, then it's time to rethink how loyal you're willing to be to them. Loyalty, when given blindly, can sometimes prevent you from seeing the truth about a person's behavior. It can make you overlook red flags, ignore toxic patterns, and allow negative traits to persist unchecked. When you are overly loyal, you might dismiss the signs that the relationship is harmful. It becomes easy to fall into the trap of thinking they've always been there for me or their family. I can't just walk away even though their actions are far from supportive. Loyalty can cloud your judgment, making you hold onto a person or a relationship far longer than you should. One of the most dangerous aspects of loyalty is how it can blind you to toxic behavior. Toxic people often take advantage of your loyalty, knowing you'll stick around no matter what. They can manipulate situations, play on your emotions, or even make you feel guilty for questioning their actions. This manipulation thrives when you have unwavering loyalty, because you're willing to make excuses for their bad behavior. Maybe they lied to you, let you down repeatedly, or showed little care for your feelings, but because you've been loyal, you continue to stay by their side. In doing so, you enable their toxic behavior to continue unchecked. This cycle of loyalty and enabling toxic behavior is destructive. The more loyal you are to someone who treats you poorly, the more you begin to lose sight of your self-worth. You start to question yourself, maybe I'm the problem, or maybe I'm being too sensitive. But the truth is, you're not the problem. The problem lies in the behavior of the person you've been so loyal to, and the fact that you've allowed it to continue without setting boundaries or holding them accountable. When you keep being loyal to someone who isn't treating you right, it begins to affect every aspect of your life. You may feel drained, frustrated, and emotionally exhausted. The relationship, rather than being a source of support and comfort, becomes a constant source of stress and anxiety. Instead of growing, instead of pursuing your own happiness, you're stuck in a cycle of giving, giving, and giving while receiving very little in return. And the more you stay, the harder it becomes to break free from this toxic dynamic. Loyalty shouldn't be about ignoring someone's flaws or tolerating bad behavior. It should be about recognizing when a person is genuinely trying to change, grow, and support you in return. When someone continually shows toxic traits, loyalty should not be used as an excuse to stay in a harmful situation. It's time to wake up and recognize that your loyalty has been misplaced. You need to stop enabling bad behavior and start putting your own needs first. Realizing that loyalty shouldn't blind you to toxic behavior can be an eye-opening experience. It can help you see the truth about relationships that have been draining you for too long. It's important to start paying attention to how people treat you, not just how long you've known them or how much you've invested in the relationship. You owe it to yourself to stop overlooking toxic behavior and to stop allowing loyalty to prevent you from moving on to healthier, more fulfilling relationships. True loyalty comes with mutual respect and care, and if you're not getting that, it's time to stop turning a blind eye and start protecting your peace. Loyalty should be reserved for those who genuinely contribute to your life in a positive way. Too often, we offer our loyalty to people who take from us without giving anything back. These are the individuals who seem to show up when they need something but disappear when you're the one in need. They take your time, energy, and resources and give little or nothing in return. They don't show up when things get tough for you, and when it's your turn to lean on them, they're nowhere to be found. This kind of one-sided loyalty isn't just draining, it's damaging. It depletes your resources, weakens your sense of self-worth, and leaves you with little to give when you truly need it most. The people you choose to be loyal to should be the ones who add value to your life, not those who take from it. They should be the ones who push you to be better, who celebrate your successes, and who are there for you during the darkest times. True loyalty is built on mutual respect, trust, and support. When you have these qualities in a relationship, you are willing to invest your time and energy into it because you know it's a two-way street. Loyalty isn't just about being there for someone when it's easy. It's about showing up when it's hard, when they need help, and when you're not getting anything in return. When you're loyal to people who contribute positively to your life, you create a network of support that helps you grow and thrive. These are the relationships that encourage you to pursue your dreams, that help you overcome challenges, and that bring you joy and fulfillment. Loyalty, in this sense, becomes a powerful force that propels you forward rather than holding you back. It strengthens you because you know you're surrounded by people who have your best interests at heart. But on the other hand, being loyal to those who drain you leaves you feeling empty, unappreciated, and stuck. You begin to lose sight of your own goals because you're constantly putting the needs of others ahead of your own. You find yourself trying to fix others, to support them, to make them happy, but when you look around, you realize that no one is doing the same for you. Over time, this takes a toll on your mental and emotional health. You can't keep pouring from an empty cup. Loyalty should be a source of strength, not weakness. It's time to recognize that not everyone in your life deserves your loyalty. You don't owe loyalty to people who consistently take from you without giving anything in return. It's okay to let go of those relationships no matter how long they've been in your life. You are worthy of having people around you who uplift, support, and encourage you. When you make the conscious decision to reserve your loyalty for those who add value to your life, you'll find that your energy and resources are better spent, your relationships become more fulfilling, and your personal growth is no longer stunted. Stop being loyal to people who drain you and start reserving that loyalty for those who are there for you in every way that matters. Loyalty without boundaries can often lead to self-sabotage. It's easy to become so loyal to people, causes, or relationships that you forget to take care of yourself. You may find yourself putting others first at the expense of your own well-being, constantly sacrificing your time, energy, and happiness to meet their needs. At first, this may seem like an admirable thing to do. Loyalty is often seen as a virtue. But when you're giving more than you can afford to give, when you're putting yourself on the back burner for the sake of others, you're setting yourself up for burnout and resentment. This isn't healthy, and it certainly isn't sustainable. Having loyalty without boundaries leads to exhaustion. You can't continue to pour your energy into others if you're not replenishing yourself. This is where a lack of boundaries becomes detrimental. If you're constantly focused on meeting the needs of others, you're ignoring your own needs. You're pushing yourself to the limit, giving away your time and resources to people who may not even appreciate the sacrifices you're making. The problem is that eventually there's nothing left to give. You start to feel drained, both physically and emotionally, and that's when the resentment starts to build up. You begin to feel like you're being taken for granted, like no one is reciprocating the loyalty you've shown. This doesn't only impact your well-being, it can also damage your relationships. The more you neglect your own needs, the less fulfilled you feel, and the more likely it is that you'll harbor negative feelings about the relationships that were once so important to you. Self-care is not selfish. In fact, it's an essential part of maintaining your ability to give and to be loyal to others. Setting healthy boundaries means being able to say no when you need to, stepping back when you feel overwhelmed, and prioritizing your own needs when necessary. If you never set boundaries, you'll find yourself constantly giving to others and never having the time or space to take care of yourself. You'll begin to feel like you're constantly being pulled in different directions, and that's a surefire way to burn out. Healthy relationships are about balance, about giving and receiving in equal measure. If you're always giving without receiving, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. It's essential to recognize that loyalty should never come at the expense of your own happiness or peace of mind. It's okay to say no when you need to step away from a situation or a person that is draining you, and to prioritize your own well-being. If you're always loyal to others but never loyal to yourself, you risk losing yourself in the process. Your energy, your time, and your peace of mind are just as important as anyone else's, and it's crucial to protect them. By setting boundaries, you allow yourself the space to recharge, to focus on your goals, and to nurture your own happiness. Remember, loyalty should be a tool for building stronger, healthier relationships, not a means of self-sacrifice. It should never cost you your well-being or your peace of mind. When you learn to set boundaries, you allow your loyalty to flourish in a way that is sustainable and fulfilling. You can give to others without losing yourself in the process. And you can protect your energy while still being there for the people who matter most. By prioritizing your own needs and setting clear boundaries, you'll find that your loyalty becomes a source of strength, not a burden. Loyalty without discernment can lead you to stay in relationships or situations that don't serve your highest good. We all have a natural desire to be loyal to those we care about, whether it's family, friends, or a significant other, but there comes a point where blind loyalty can actually keep you stuck in places that hinder your personal growth. It's important to recognize that not everyone in your life deserves your loyalty, and not every relationship is worth the investment of your time and energy. If you continue to hold on to loyalty for the sake of it, you risk staying in situations that are toxic, unproductive, or unfulfilling. One of the dangers of blind loyalty is the tendency to ignore red flags or warning signs. You might find yourself justifying harmful behavior, convincing yourself that they will change or that things will get better over time. But this mindset can cause you to waste years or even decades in a relationship that doesn't contribute positively to your life. You might be loyal to someone who continually lets you down, someone who consistently takes advantage of your kindness or who treats you in ways that aren't respectful. But your loyalty blinds you to the fact that this person isn't changing, and you're just stuck in a cycle of disappointment. Your time and emotional energy are precious resources, and spending them on relationships that aren't reciprocating your loyalty only keeps you in a state of stagnation. Another aspect of blind loyalty is how it can prevent you from making tough but necessary decisions. If you're loyal to someone who's not treating you right or who's preventing you from growing, your loyalty might make it harder for you to walk away. It can create an emotional conflict in your mind because you feel like you're betraying them or abandoning them, even though staying may be hurting you in the long run. But loyalty doesn't mean tolerating bad behavior, and it doesn't mean sticking around when someone isn't adding value to your life. True loyalty should be reciprocal, and it should enhance your life, not diminish it. You need to start questioning whether the people you're loyal to are actually supporting your growth and happiness. Are they there for you when you need them? Do they respect your boundaries? Are they helping you become the best version of yourself? If the answer is no, then you may need to reconsider your loyalty to them. Loyalty without discernment means you're giving your best to people who aren't giving anything back. And over time, that can lead to frustration, resentment, and even burnout. It's essential to be discerning about where you place your loyalty, because not every relationship is meant to be lifelong, and not every person is worthy of your time and devotion. If you can learn to be more selective with your loyalty, you'll find that your relationships become healthier, more fulfilling, and more aligned with your values. Instead of holding on to loyalty for the sake of it, you'll begin to invest in relationships that bring out the best in you. You'll spend time with people who support your dreams, who are there for you through thick and thin, and who treat you with the respect and care you deserve. You'll realize that loyalty, when given to the right people, can be a powerful and transformative force. But you can only experience that if you let go of blind loyalty and start making more thoughtful, intentional choices about where you invest your time and energy.